What is up, guys? Luke McGuire here. How are you all today? What is going on? Okay, good to see you all here. Gilbert, you can just get off this webinar from your silly little statement. I'm going to get rid of you. What's up, guys? Good to see you all here today. Gilbert, you can watch this one in the replay. So I'll start these webinars whenever I'd like to. Often I send an email out just before I get started, and then I wait for the room to fill up so no one misses out on anything. Yeah, and I see a question here from Liz. Liz, you should have got it last night. I went through and added everyone again, but double check. You should have it. Otherwise, send me your email here. I'll get you added today. Cool. All right, Joanne, if you can just send me an email now at this address. I'm going to send this through to you guys. Today's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for today's webinar. Cool. Cool. All right, good. Today is going to be a fun webinar. Who here has been enjoying AdvertSuite so far? Let me know what you have done. Have you guys created any Facebook ads yet? If you have, write yes. If you haven't, write no. Let me know what you guys have been doing. Okay, so the majority so far. Let me send it to you here. Hold on. The majority I see here is no one has done any ads yet. Well, the majority, I'd say 85% haven't, 15% have. And that's cool. That's totally cool. What I might even do for you guys is next week's webinar, I might even give you guys access to one of the replays from my high ticket courses where we go into Facebook ads. Actually, or I might even do it live for you guys next week, where I go into Facebook ads and I show you the areas to look at when creating a Facebook ad and the areas not to. When you're doing a Facebook ad, Facebook overwhelms you with different things you can do. So, like the basics of you can choose your age group, you can choose your target interest group, right? It gets a lot more in depth. You can then choose what days you want the ad to show, what types of budgets you want to use. If you want to target friends of fans, or you want to target fans only, or you want to target only new people, there's about 40 different locations you can do Facebook ads. And in my opinion, that's probably the biggest one that I recommend that I'll share with you guys of where to do Facebook ads and where not to. If you as a standard approach in the Facebook Ads Manager, they'll tell you just to there's like an automatic button, which sounds like it's the best, where they'll do it for you and they'll test your ad everywhere. But it's always good to think about you as the customer of any product. Where do you click on an ad? Do you click an ad on like a news article page on a different site, which is known as the audience network, right? I don't. So why would I advertise there? I mean, but also at the same time, things that I won't do doesn't mean other people won't. But I always try to look at the majority. Do I know any of my friends that are going to click on ads on, I don't know, if they say they're on Huffington Post reading an article, right? Are they going to click on an ad there to go buy a pair of shoes? Probably not, because they're in a mind frame there of learning, where on social media, they're in a mind frame of buying. Do I click on ads in the sidebar on Facebook? Probably very rarely compared to when I click an ad in the actual news feed. So there's about 40 different locations that Facebook recommends. And if you've got a tight budget, which a lot of us do, and even if you don't have a tight budget, you just want to put your ad where it's going to be actually seen and clicked on, well, you can then manually select those locations. So yeah, it's a bit of a minefield in there at times. So what I'll do next week's webinar, I'll go in and I'll show you guys how to remove a lot of those areas where your money is spent better elsewhere in the Facebook ads module. But today we're going to be talking about Instagram and Facebook story ads. Now, these are new types of ads, and Facebook also, whenever a new type of ad comes out, Facebook will reward you for using that type of ad because they're very cheap, and Facebook wants to build data on it. Facebook will also even recommend these type of ads to you, and sometimes it's not the best to take their recommendations because they're essentially only recommending that type of ad so they can build data on how well it works, so then they can figure out really how much to charge you for it in future. So you don't want to be a guinea pig with your own money, and that's what essentially Facebook does, which sucks, but that's the way it works. In saying that, yeah, one second, I'm having a sip of water here. Excuse me. Yeah, and one thing I also want you guys to do as well is just don't worry too much about testing a $5 ad. I would love you guys from this time now till next week, put $10 into an ad going to one of your offer pages from what we've taught in the first couple of webinars. Rewatch them, they're in the training area, but just put $10 just so you can say you've done it. Even if it's not successful, it doesn't matter right now if it's $5 or $10, because I want you guys to actually implement this. I want you to find an ad that looks good in AdvertSuite and then replicate it and implement it. And that is going to be a win for you. You're going to feel good. You've actually bought something and then implemented it. Because a lot of the times we don't implement. We just learn, we just learn. We want to get it perfect. Guys, marketing is never going to be perfect. And that's the beauty of marketing. You can do something and screw up and change it. If a headline doesn't work, it's not the end of the world, and you can change it. It's not like you're a heart surgeon and you go, oh, well, shit, I just popped the left ventricle, right? No, I can't change that. I'm screwed. The person's dead. And I think a lot of the time we think that. We think if we screw up on this, it's going to be the end of the world. And I can tell you it's not. And often when you do it, you'll learn something. And that's a win. It might cost you $5 to learn that win, but it's something you've actually actioned. I could sell anyone a $10,000 course, well, not anyone, but I know I could sell a $10,000 course on Facebook ads, and people will buy it, they're amped up, they're excited, they feel ready, but then they'll be scared to put $100 into Facebook ads to run an ad that's going to send them traffic to themselves, right? It's this big barrier of wanting to buy something, to learn, to feel good, to actually implementing on their own. And that's why I want you guys just to rewatch the past webinars, and by next week, go out and implement one type of ad yourself. And if you want to see the previous webinars, you can go into tutorials inside of AdvertSuite, and you'll see a bunch of the different webinars. Bunch of webinar 1, 2, 3 here, and then I'll add our last week's webinar into the VIB training. I sent that out last night, but watch those welcome webinars initially, right? Cool. I'm so having a look on I'll look through some things here. Nick says, you haven't done any ads yet, but I've got a few companies wanting to buy a white label license, so want to get white label set up. Awesome. That is awesome. All right, I'll do a video for white label for you guys today. Is there a replay for the local business marketing? Yes, there is. I'll get that added today if it's not already. Michael says, I thought there was going to be a second local marketing session. Is that in training? Because I didn't notice it. Currently, there was only one, because we only do one for you guys there. But I will do another one. Local marketing is my favorite type of, that's what I strive at, and that's what I'm good at teaching at. So we're going to get into that as well. But again, in this VIP series, I want to touch on things that you wouldn't really learn anywhere else, and how you can use AdvertSuite to connect with that. Because I know it's always interesting when I do webinars how I'll get insulted and blamed and fired at and inboxed on Facebook, or even my mum's been messaged in the past getting me insulted before, which is ridiculous in my opinion. So the first couple of welcome webinars, we did local marketing, affiliate marketing, and e-commerce. I got absolutely smashed for that because people didn't see how it connected to ADVERTSUITE. Even though I did the training connected to it, you know, it's always hard to make everyone happy, but you can see what is it now? A month, it's over a month after launch, and I'm still here every week with you guys because it's my duty to ensure you don't just buy this and not implement it, right? And that's it. So give me 1 second. I'm going to let my dog inside. I'm going to get started. Come on, man. Yeah. Come on. In. Come on. Bring it. Inside. Get inside. Good boy. Go. All right. Oh, bless me. It's one of those mornings. All right. And yeah, and again, one thing I said this to my local the people in my local marketing course the other day. You know, the past few weeks for me have probably been the most challenging weeks of my life in terms of things that have happened, passings and whatnot in my life, and it's just been a roller coaster. And you know, it made me really, and I had to go to a passing of one of my friends that just was not, you know, sometimes when people pass, you can always try to find the silver lining, like maybe they're too old and they're in pain, or maybe they've been really sick and now they're not in pain anymore, whatever it might be. This one was just a shock passing that should never, ever have happened. And it was just horrible. And it made me realize that, you know, anything in life, positive or negative, we are all so lucky to be able to feel any emotion. And every emotion comes and goes. So if any of you are in a really, really low place right now, know that emotion and that feeling will pass. Just like if any of you are in a really high place right now, loving life, that feeling is going to pass as well. And don't be scared about that or worried about that, because it's an amazing thing that we all have the ability to feel the positives and negatives in life, because some people just don't have that option to anymore. And life is so fragile, so it can be taken so quickly. So don't want to get too deep, but I just wanted to say that because, you know, wherever we are in our lives, we're very lucky to have one. So moving on from there, let's go get started today. And yeah, Brian, that is me. Let's go ahead and get started today. And we're going to get started with story ads. So who here knows what a Facebook or Instagram story is? Write yes in the chat box if you know what that is. Now, I want to show you here inside of ADVERTSUITE, you can actually find stories in Instagram. Go ad type, story ads. And these are a very new type of ad. I'm going to hit search. So you'll notice that this will get more popular over the coming weeks and months and whatnot as stories take off, or story ads take off even more. So you can see these story ads here. Now I'm going to show you what a story ad is here. You can see at the top here, we have got stories. It's in probably the most prime position of Facebook, right? It's the first thing you see. Now, if I click on stories, this is annoying. This is my ex-girlfriend. I'm going to have to click on her story. If I want to just scroll through, you can scroll through these stories, which are 24-hour little bits and pieces of things that people do every single day, right? So my friend that has a bikini company. And these are little day in the life bits and pieces of what people do. Here's Hand Fanner Marketer that you guys might know. One of my friends, Kerry, Josh Shamora. You guys probably know a lot of these people, right? And you might not. But essentially, this is Facebook's answer to Snapchat. Facebook tried to buy Snapchat many years ago, and what happened, let me pause this here. And what happened was Snapchat said no. So Facebook said, you know what, screw you then. We're going to build out our own version of it. So giving Facebook and Instagram users the ability to post little things that are 12 hours, sorry, that last for 24 hours, that are 15-second clips of day in the lives of people. Now, These are viewed so much. There's over 500,000 daily active users every day on Instagram, more on Facebook, right? And on Instagram, out of those 500,000 users, 300,000 of those daily users will engage with Instagram stories, right? Now, on call to action stories, on average, 15 to 25% of users will swipe up on a Instagram story ad or on a post that has a swipe up option, right? It's a very, very high engagement part, and I'm going to show you what that is. So who here would like a little bit of training for 15 minutes on Instagram stories, and I'll show you the full ins and outs of it. All right. So let me go ahead and I'm going to pull this tool up called Reflector. Everyone always asks me what this tool is. So I'm going to change this over. You should be able to see my iPhone in just a second. Yeah. So right, yes, you can see my phone here. Cool, you guys can all see it. All right, so this is my Instagram feed, and again, at the very top, these are Instagram stories, all right? I can swipe right, is my friend Zach, big influencer in the fitness niche. My friend Renee, my friend Mike, and I'll scroll, and just by tapping the right side of the screen, oh my God, some of my friends are out of control. Tapping right on the top side of the screen, I can scroll through them and see here we've landed on an ad. We've landed on a story ad, right? That's in between what I am viewing. Now it gives me the option down the bottom here to swipe up to view the website. And if I swiped up, I'll see the call to action to this story ad. All right. Because I'm actually interested in this service, which is quite strange. I was trying to find this company a few weeks ago. It's called Rev. They will actually put text over any videos that you do as in subtitles. And on Facebook, I think the stats are something like ridiculous, like over 70% of people watch your videos on mute. Because videos don't just start screaming at you. Sometimes you have to unmute them to actually hear the audio. But this is a way where they'll add text to your video that will then be transcribed for you, right? Which is pretty cool. So now that's a perfect example of a story that I'm now actually probably going to use that company in future. So I've literally just been sold just now. And again, the more I scroll through, the more I can see. I can go back and forward, and I can do all this type of stuff, right? Now, what I can do is, well, in the top left-hand corner, there's a little camera. This little camera here pulls up my camera. You can see everything that I'm doing. If I turn it around, you'll see my very tired bed head, right? You can see me now. If I did a picture, right? I'm just taking this picture of myself. I can instantly then send this down the bottom to my story. And I'll have a story like everyone else's that'll last 24 hours of this picture. Now, I want to show you some of the key things up the top here. Up the top, you can see a little smiley face, a little link, a little sticker thing, a little paintbrush, and some text. So let's start with the text. If I add the text in here, I can say something like, hey there, view my latest post or link in bio, something like that, right? And then obviously that doesn't look that good because you can't really see it. So I can move it to where you can. But otherwise, I can click on the text, and then you notice in the top left-hand corner, there's a little A button. If I press that A button, it's going to then put a background on it. So no matter where I put it, it'll stand out more, but you can still see kind of blends into the background. So if I select it again, I can select one of these colors down here, right? I can twist it, I can make it bigger, I can do all this stuff to it, right? Now, let's go for the next section. Let's go into this little sticker option, the third one from the top of the little peely sticker. I'm going to click on that. This gives me a lot of options to use with my story, and also gives me the ability to send this story to other places than just my followers, right? My story will only normally be shown to my followers unless I use some of these sections in here. And you don't need to use these on every single story that you do, but it can help. So say, for example, I wanted to put in a location, right? And put in Gold Coast, which is where I live. And I can put in a hashtag as well. Right? Now, say I posted the story just like that. This will be sent into the feeds of all of my followers that follow me, along with the stories under the hashtag good morning and the stories posted under the location Gold Coast. So anyone that's done a similar post and they've put a location of where they live, their stories are going to be put into a separate category with everyone else's. So I can then see everyone who's on the Gold Coast and what they're posting today, right? So it's another place where you can then have your story go out to. Now, this isn't to do with ads just yet. This is just with free organic traffic doing stories. So let's go back to this little sticker option up here. There's other things you can do here as well, like questions and polls and countdown. So let's say I want to do a question. So ask me anything, right? I can have that put in there. Obviously, I would make this a much better post, which we'll do shortly. But ask me anything. People can then respond and engage with my story. And remember, I always say when you ask a question, you're going to get results. You're going to get responses. When those responses come in, you can then share the responses as a story, right? Let's do a poll, right? I can do a poll saying, do I look tired? Yes, so I can say so tired, right? You can play around with it and you can do all this cool stuff. And if you ever want to get rid of it, this is something people always ask me as well. If I want to get rid of this, I just grab it and I take it down to the trash bin down the bottom of the page. And boom, it's gone. So it's that simple. Now there's a little option up here to put little face masks and stuff on me if I wanted to. And animations I can. I'm not going to do that right now. We'll go back over here. I can add music in the background. So say I want to add in something like, I don't know, who let the dogs out? Now, this is going to play in the background of my story, right? And then say I wanted to add in a GIF. People always add little animations in their stories to make things look a bit more fun. I'm going to click on this again, going to hit GIF. I'm then going to go out and type in, I can search whatever the trending ones are, but you can search for anything. I can even search for Austin Powers if I wanted to. Austin Powers gifts for the days, right? Make it bigger. So you get the idea. It's starting to look a bit ridiculous here, but I'm going to get rid of this who let the dogs out because it's just making lots of noise. But you get the idea of what you can do, and you can add as many or little as you want. Now, if you have over 10,000 followers on your Instagram account, you'll have the ability to have this little link up here. All right, this is great, especially for local clients that already have 10,000 followers. This means I can go here and I can add a swipe up link saying, now I've added a swipe up link, which will then, when I post this, it'll say down the bottom, swipe up for whatever. So if I could change this text, I can just click on it saying, want. That's simple, right? Now they're going to have a call to action. Now, if they don't have ADVERTSUITE, if you don't have the ability to do swipe up links just yet, what you can do is just say, hey, want ADVERTSUITE? Link in bio, right? That isn't in the text, right? Because again, this is right now only for people over 10,000 followers. I'm sure it'll be rolled out to everyone in the future, hopefully. So you get the idea, right? So Brad says, what about older people, not millennials? I'm 66 years old. So what is your question though with that? Like, what do you mean about what about older people? Because again, I'm not showing you, like, I know this is like really goofy of what I'm showing you here right now, but I'm just trying to show you how you can use the different features inside of an Instagram story. If you look at someone like, actually first, before I go into that, I want to show you here, see the hashtag good morning and then Gold Coast as the location. So I'm going to discard this for now, but I'm going to show you Gold Coast. We're going to hashtags. So you can see these are all the posts recently done for people on the Gold Coast. See in the top left-hand corner, there's this little circle means stories, right? So if we click on that, see this person this morning, when was this? 19 hours ago, yes, so yesterday, hashtag go Gold Coast on their account. This person did a hashtag Gold Coast, this person's going by hashtag Gold Coast. And I'm not following any of these people, but this just puts my story into a different area and a different category, where my story can be viewed by more people that aren't following me yet. So if I go back, what was it? What I did? So I did the hashtag Gold Coast and I did location Broadbeach, was it? So under the location Broadbeach, which is where I checked into. Here again, these are all people that have checked into Broadbeach in the past couple of hours. Actually, this is pretty cool. Actually, just a bit of rant. These guys checked into Dracula's Broadbeach in Broadbeach. Sorry, Dracula's Cabaret Gold Coast, which is in Broadbeach. It's like this giant Dracula castle, which is near the beach here. It's really cool. It's been there for maybe, I don't know, 25 years, but at least I reckon. And it's like a big Gothic cabaret dinner show where you go in this little cart. People jump out and scare you, and then it's a really cool show. So if anyone ever does come to the Gold Coast, go check it out. It's a bit of fun for a night. But yeah, so now this is checking in everywhere. All right. This is a bar near me at the casino here. So you can see here that this is everywhere. So yeah. Now that means your story is going to be posted into multiple places, which will drive you more followers and more fans, right? So let me go ahead and jump back over into Google, and I'm going to go ahead. Into here, and we're going to go ahead and open the Ads Manager. Now I'm going to create an ad for now. Go to reach ad. And say I wanted to run only a story ad. Only a story ad. You don't want to run any other type of ad, a newsfeed ad, a sidebar ad, an audience network ad. Remember those 40 different places I told you before? Well, this is where you would find them. So here it says automatic placements recommended, where I like to use editing placements. So if you hit edit, so you had 10 bucks to spend in a day. That 10 bucks is going to be spent, if it was on automatic, on testing all of these different places of where the ad could be, right? So, and just say I wanted to run a $10 story ad. What I would do is I'd click out of newsfeed, Instagram feed, Facebook Marketplace. Who the hell clicks on ads at Facebook Marketplace? Not me anyway. But it could work. And here we've got stories, Facebook and Instagram stories, boom. And I would click out of all of these other ones. And if you swipe over them, you'll see what the ads will look like. So you see this pizza here, with a swipe up option here, and here on Facebook, it'll learn more, swipe up. All right. Now, the thing with Instagram and Facebook and Instagram stories is they're a unique size. They're not sized as like the normal, as a normal type of, I guess, a normal length and width of like a standard widescreen video that you would normally see, right? So what I wanted to show you guys, so yeah, oh, sorry, before I start, Christina added, said, how do you add a link if you don't have 10K followers? If you are doing an ad, then you can add the link. If you're doing a paid ad, sorry, or alternatively, you just direct them to your bio, right? Or you create the post just to get followers to your account, and then you say link in bio. So say for me, mine's Luke McGuire, and my link is in my bio for a video, which is I surprised my mum buying her a brand new car. I took her for a ride in my Lambo, which scared the hell out of her. We stuck GoPros everywhere, and yeah, it was a pretty moving experience. I'm sure if any of you guys watch this video, I'm sure it'll bring a couple of tears to a lot of your eyes. So it's a pretty cool video if you ever want to check it out. But if you're not following me, make sure to go follow me on Instagram. By the way, I share content mostly every day there, and my stories specifically. All right, 1 second. So what I want you to do now is write any questions you have to me from where we're at now, and then I want to show you how to create very high quality converting stories that are animated, beautiful, that you can sell to local businesses, that you can use for your e-com products, that you can use as a segue for your affiliate marketing link. So write any questions you have up until this point now, and then we'll go forward. So I'm just running to my bedroom for 1 second. I'll be back in 2 seconds. All right. Let's go. So, well, yeah. So, okay. The question is this Instagram? So, what I'm showing you on my screen right now is Instagram. This story thing is about the party life. No, it's definitely not about the party life. Let's see, if I went to someone like, I'm not sure, let's say Grant Cardone. It depends on who you follow, right? A lot of my friends party, because that's my personal profile, right? Grant Cardone's here posting stuff about business. So swipe up links there, and he's actually written the actual text of his call to action directly there. If I went to I don't know, maybe a tennis. So guy follow about tennis. He does tennis videos every day. Where he'll share posts that he's done of how to win more points, comparison things. It's definitely not all about partying at all. If I went to, I don't know, say vegan, let's see if there's a vegan, let's go vegan recipes. Under the hashtag, all I'm going to say here is vegan recipes. If I wanted to see, people in Japan. By the way, I'm in Japan in a couple of weeks. If anyone lives in Japan, it's actually my 30th, so I'm bringing my whole family over to Disneyland, which is something my parents always wanted to do for me as a kid, but never had the finances to do so. So I thought I'd help them live their dream by doing it for them for my 30th birthday, which should be a lot of fun. So I'm to Japan. Now I'll say everything about Japan. As you can see, none of that is partying, right? So multiple ways you can use stories. George says the hashtag was good morning. Thank you for that. I live amongst people in the workday world, not non-stop entertaining adventures. That's fine, but again, you don't need to be doing, like, it depends on what it is your business is. If you're doing e-commerce, right, for example, that'll have nothing to do with your business, with what you're doing in your life. So I had a teeth whitening company called Kiss Strips. I could post stories every day just of just general things I find, general content. You can see here, this is the product, influencers posting it, donuts that look yummy, anything that would look good with what it is I was doing, right? I could post stories the same content I put in my newsfeed, I can post in my stories. It doesn't need to be live. Oh, that's what I'll show you quickly as well. And actually, I'll show you now in a different example. But again, think about what type of business it is you're running. If you're running a local marketing business, you don't need to make stories for your business. You'll be doing it for your local clients. If you have a local cafe that you're working with, if you have a local nightclub, whatever it might be, you'll use their content for what it is their business purpose is. Just think of it as another way to market, and a way that has so much engagement compared to standard methods of marketing, all right? Yes, you can use the same story on both Instagram and Facebook. When you share it on Instagram, it'll say, where do you want to share to? Your story, your Facebook story, your newsfeed, anywhere. When you click share, it'll give you the option of where you want to send it to. Alternatively, I could simply save it once I've got it. I can then just add it here into Facebook stories separately if I wanted to. But if you share on Instagram, you can automatically sync it to your Facebook as well. Michelle says, I bought video ads as per your recommendation. Very good. Very nice, very nice. It's a really good course. School fair doing here, thank you. So Brad says, exactly. How would your parents have a story without any income help from you? Mate, well, at the end of the day, my parents definitely have a story of what they've done. My dad got kicked out of home when he was 13, and he went out and he made himself a career that was able to have my mum look after me as a kid and whatnot. But again, that's his story of his life. We're not sharing our stories of our lives here. We're trying to create a business to make money. So I need to ask you about what is your business opportunity that you're going for, and then you build your story content, just like your newsfeed content, just like any advertising content around what goal it is you have, right? For me, obviously in my life, I'm an internet marketer that's trying to help change people's lives through softwares and tools, and a part of my story is going to relate. But when I sell teeth whitening, no one gives a shit about my story because it doesn't relate to what it is I'm trying to sell. Right? Teeth whitening and my story are different things, just like your story and if you work at a bakery are completely irrelevant to each other, right? So you need to make the content relevant to what your business opportunity is. You don't need to have an Instagram account about yourself, just like I showed you. This Instagram account here, Kiss Strips, was my teeth whitening business. I made it as an example to show people how to make a teeth whitening business. Has nothing to do with me at all. So neither will the content. So George says, when you post a story ad, does it only run for 24 hours or can you make it longer? So if you're doing a story ad, it's going to last longer. Now let me pull up my my phone again quickly for you guys. If you're running a story ad, it's going to run for as long as you run the budget. If you post a story just on your actual account story, it's not going to run. It'll only run for 24 hours and it'll disappear. But even if it disappears, you can then use stories as something called a highlight. So I want to show you this. One of my friends, Matt Gates. Now, say you're doing local marketing and you're going out to a local business and you're offering them marketing services, right? So you might be doing content service, There's Facebook ad services, chatbot services, Instagram story services. Well, once the stories have been posted and done, you can add them into something down here called a highlight. You can see these big circles with these yellow sections here. These are his highlights. So under sold, it shows you the houses he has previously sold. And these are stories. You see up the top here, it says 76 weeks ago. The next one was 53 weeks ago, 52 weeks ago, 52 weeks ago, 52, 45, 45 weeks ago. And you can see these are all nicely done images that add legitimacy to his post. Now, these are previous stories he's done, but then he can add them into a highlight reel under this section here. Now, how to do a highlight reel? Well, on your actual Instagram account, you can see here, it says new. Next to this walk and talk, it says new. Hit new. I can then post any of my most recent stories that I've done, even if they've expired. So say it's past 24 hours. These are all the stories that I've ever posted, right? If I click on this one down here, bottom left, I can hit next. Now I can add this, add a title saying driving. And then if I hit add, it would become a story just like these ones here, like my Africa trip, my 29th birthday, me just walking and talking, giving little words of the day that I feel, right? So that's how you that's how you can then use a story after the fact. Now, oh, sorry guys, I want to show you this one more time because it seems like my phone did not share across. Let me show you one more time. So here we have, I'll run through it quickly. You probably heard what I said, but I'll run through it quickly. Here is my friend Matt Gates's account. Here we have the different highlights down here. You can see the bottom left one has sold. So you can see the properties he sold. So this was 82 weeks ago, as you see at the top. 80 weeks ago, 76 weeks ago, 53 weeks ago, and so on. Now this adds legitimacy to his business account for real estate for the homes he sold. Now he has the homes he has, the awards that he's got, and it all adds legitimacy to what it is he's doing. That's why he's got a very great Instagram account to mimic if you're doing local marketing for real estate agents in your area. Now to create your own highlight, bottom right corner, you select your profile. You can see here my highlights here, walk and talk, Africa, my 29th birthday. I'm gonna hit add new. I can then see all the Instagram stories I've ever posted, even if they've expired, so you can see the dates they were posted. I select one, I hit next. Add in a text of what I want this story to be called. I could call it sold or for sale or awards or whatever it is I'm doing. And boom, when I hit add, it'll be added down here into this section where it says walk and talk and whatnot. All right, so sorry about that little delay there. Now, let's go back over here. So what I want to do now is show you how to create really beautiful Instagram stories in the correct size that are animated, that I have hundreds of customers using this as a full-time business, selling these type of stories to local clients. If you went to go out to a videographer or a video editor to go out and add and create you an animated video story that you can use for your ads or your Facebook or your highlight reel or wherever you want to, it does cost quite a bit, a couple $100 a video render, right? Well, I've got this tool here called StoryMate. I'm going to run through it quickly. I don't want to stay on it too long. What is happening, everyone? Luke McGuire here, and this is a tool I created earlier in the year, start of the year. It became the biggest and the world's #1 Instagram story tool. And what it allows you to do, if I go over any of these, you can see there's an animation that will go with it. So if I want to click on, I don't know, and all of this text, all of the background images and the audio can all be replaced with whatever you want it to be. So I can change this to look like from a food to be like whatever my latest property is and have every image be a latest property, right? A lot of them have call to actions like swipe up here. Like this one has swipe up, right? And there's a lot of different ones. We've got pages and pages and pages of them. Now, if I click on this, let's say I click on this one here, right? Now this is a one scene one. There's only one image in the background with a call to action. There's ones that have multiple, like the one I just showed you a second ago. If I wanted to create this, what I would do is I would create video. Now let's say I was doing it for a local, I don't know, a local restaurant. I'm gonna go background image. Now I can upload any background image I want, right? I can upload any background image that I want to by clicking browse. If I save them from Google, if I've taken a picture of myself, if I've taken it of a nightclub, whatever it might be, or I can use Pixabay or Unsplash. So say I wanted to type in, I don't know, acai bowl. There's the acai. Or let's type in breakfast. So if I wanted an acai bowl picture, I could go to Google Images and get it from there, right? So let's just for argument's sake, let's use this, strawberries. Now it will give you the option to crop this to the perfect size of an Instagram story. I can choose whatever section that I like, right? Maybe I'll choose this section. I'm gonna crop the image. Now I'm gonna add the text. I might say, or whatever it might be, right? Now, again, I'm going to change the text to whatever I want. It looks pretty regular here, but it's going to be rendered and animated to how it looked to you in the preview. If I hit next, I can then add music. I can add my own. I can add a voiceover. I can add whatever I want, or I can select some royalty-free image here. So I might add in this one. Once I've chosen it, all I need to do is click next. I'm going to start rendering it. Now it's going to go ahead and render that into how I wanted it to look. Now, I'll put the link for StoryMate in the chat box if you did want to pick it up. I've actually brought the prices down for you guys on the page for probably until Sunday. I'll leave it like this. They're back down to the launch week prices for you guys. There's a few upgrades. The front end product, I believe it's 25. You have 25 different animations you can use, right? So let me just go back here. 25 different animations, I believe, you can use. So this whole page here, all the animations you'll get with just the front end product. There's an upgrade, which is where we give you 5 to 10 new renders or new animations every single month. It's actually, if you haven't picked it up in launch week, it's probably even better to pick it up now because we have months and months and months of renders here. So you can see all these different pages of our premium templates that we've got here as well as an upgrade. Right? And again, remember, just because there's a bike on it or just because there's a picture of food or whatever it might be, you can use this for every single niche. And people are selling these stories as a service to local businesses. So say they might sell them 10 animated stories every single month. For a real estate agent, they've got 10 new listings a month. They can use this as an animation for their 10 stories every single month, right? So they can add in the new properties on each one. They'll never look the same because the audio is different, the images are different, the slideshows are different, right? So you can see there's so many, and there's another page here where we're about to add in our next month's lot here as well. Now there's also a white label option that comes with this, where you just will simply go into admin. You can then create license keys and send them to users. So you could then rent these to real estate agents. You can send them to real estate agents or to whatever niche. I'm just using real estate agents as an example because they're someone that would benefit a lot out of this every single month with having so much new content to post. Edit the site settings, change out our logos, change color schemes, do whatever you want with it, put your logo in, and go from there. So it's a pretty cool tool. Now I'm I've brought this back in as well until probably Sunday. I'm gonna give you the iPhone and Android apps as well for free. These did become an upsell after launch, but I'm gonna give you guys these for free, just like we did in launch. I'm gonna show you this 1 second. Yeah, I have my phone back up again. Now this again makes it so much easier to get your stories, right? Because otherwise, if you've done this, and even if you get a video renderer to do it, they'll have to send it across to an email where you then need to download it and send it to your phone or whatever it might be, right? If I'm into projects, I could download it straight from here. You can see it's all done. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the app. Now this is the StoryMate app. Without me doing anything, every story I create gets synced to my phone, where I can then select it. I can then instantly share it to my story, or I can save it to my phone. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Instagram. I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on top left-hand corner. And then you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little square where you can see where I saved it. I'm going to select that. Obviously, I need to edit the text to make it look a bit to fit, to align a bit better. But and this is a very basic template on this one here. But you get the idea. The music's playing. Not sure if you can hear it. I can then add features like I showed you previously. I can add in a poll. Right. I'm going to add that in here, right? Let me go up and put a GIF in as well. Right? Play around with it and you can get really, really creative with it. Now, like I said, with the white label option, people are using this, selling it to local agents, and then they're creating a little training course, just like this video here, or sitting down with the client, showing them all these features that they probably didn't know even existed. Who here knew all of the features today that I've shown you existed, right? Oh, and that's right. So Shelly says, how much for over 50 renders a month? So if you pick up the premium templates for launch week as well, I'm giving you unlimited renders a month. So there's no lock-ins for how many renders you get a month, right? And then Angela says, do you have a special discount for us? I've already brought it back down before this webinar to launch week prices. The prices have gone up since then, dramatically actually. So I've brought them back down, and I brought it back down for you guys in a funnel system. So you don't need to buy the whole thing. We were selling this for $497 as an entire bundle, with also a recurring part to it. They have actually brought it down for you guys, so you can pick and choose what you want. So once you've done that, you can then in your ads manager, you can see here that if I go to stories, it'll be very similar to here. So once you've filled out your target information and whatnot, you'll go to the next page and then you can upload your story there. You can even create your own one there if you wanted to as well, but it's very, very basic stuff. So using a store, oh, sorry, let me switch this back over for you guys. In here, once you've got, you can see, if I scroll over this Instagram stories here, you can see this little picture here shows what a story would look like, and you can see how perfectly the stories we just created would fit in here if you wanted to do a paid type of ad with them. Now, once you fill out your target info, you'll go next page, and then it will ask you to upload your actual story that you want to post, right? So that's how easy it is to do that. I thought it was a good opportunity to bring back StoryMate down for you guys. And again, remember in ADVERTSUITE as well, you can see all the story ads that people are posting, and you can see how basic some of these are, and how it gives you the opportunity to really take advantage of this new platform with really high quality stories. You can see here, this kind of looks like a StoryMate type one, but they're not animated, right? And a lot of story ads are not animated. So I think it's a great opportunity for you to be the market leader in this new field of ad where they're so cheap to run. Yes, Shaya, that is correct. Just like any form of Facebook ad, you will always create the content first. You always have the imagery first. If you're doing a video ad, you have the video first. If you're doing a story ad, you'll have the story ad first, ready to go. All right. What would you charge for this type of service, right? So if you're selling this as a service, depends if you're selling them the license key for them to create their own, or you're doing it for them. You can easily sell this for $397 to $697 a month if you're doing, say, 10 to 15 stories every single month, because you have to look at the perceived value. So if you want to get a videographer to photograph, edit, and render 1 stories, it's going to cost you a couple of $100. If you're giving them 15 stories a month, you can charge them a couple of $100 just for that. All right. So again, it depends on the client and who you're going after and whatnot, but you can easily sell it for a lot, right? George says, how much do we recommend we sell white label for option for our clients? I think I just kind of answered that. Yeah, oh yeah, you said excellent, thank you. So yeah, essentially that is stories. Now, what I want you guys to do is go around, view the Instagram stories inside of AdvertSuite if you have the upgrade here for that, and just kind of see what people are working with. But you'll see, I haven't really found anyone that's fully cracked the cause of it yet, right? So you can see it's kind of basic stuff. Let's see what this one's all about. So this must mean something more than what I know it means. You see a limited edition not found in stores. They put the call to action in the actual text like we see a lot. So anyway, you got the idea. So go out, play around with it, pick up StoryMate. I'll leave it at the discounted price until the end of the weekend, and then I'm going to bring it back up again. George, I appreciate your nice comments with that there. Anything else you guys have? Any questions you have? You can always message me on Facebook. I'm here most of the time. Tonight, I'm actually taking my mum. It was my mum's birthday the other day, so I'm taking her to see Hans Zimmer, who's here in Australia. If you don't know who Hans Zimmer is, he is the composer to some of the world's best, I guess, songs or compositions, you could say, for a lot of the movies like Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, all the Pirates of the Caribbean theme songs that everyone knows really well, Lion King songs, right? He composed all of them, and he is here in concert tonight. So I've never seen him, but I heard he is pretty amazing live. So I'm going to be doing that tonight. But I've it's about an hour and a half away to drive, so I'll be on my phone answering anyone's questions you guys have. So Shelly says, what's your recommendation on the new ClickFunnels pricing? Should we get an account if we don't have one yet? Look, ClickFunnels, great software, definitely the market leader. There are other alternatives out there. I might even do a webinar going over all of the different competitors and looking at doing a proper breakdown of the positives and negatives of each. Because at the end of the day, every company is going to try to say why they're better than the competition. For me, it's all about saving time. What's the easiest for me to use? But I know for a lot as well, money does come into play. I've got to a point where I'm lucky enough to, I'm spending a bit more if it saves me more time. But in saying that, there are some really great alternatives to ClickFunnels out there. I haven't even seen the new pricing yet for it. I personally haven't used ClickFunnels for a little while. But again, that's purely because I get my teams to create my pages for me now. But I know it is a must-have. Well, some form of page builder is a must-have thing. The thing to remember with any page, you can skin a cat multiple ways. You can do it with ClickFunnels, you can do it with Convertri, you can do it with WordPress, you can get it coded with HTML. There's so many different ways. So what I think I'll do is I'll create a webinar going over all of the different options for that. OMG advisors owning my funnel. Yeah, I agree. Owning your funnel is always, owning everything is always important, right? So if your business is running and relying on someone else's business, then you're not in control of your business. I'll give you a quick example of this. It's probably a nice last word as well. One of my friends, actually you met him, Anthony Morrison, right? He was here on one of our original webinars. I used to know him when he was doing Google ads. Back in the day, you could spend the most money on Google ads for a keyword, say it was teeth whitening. I could buy the top 10 slots of Google ads. Every ad on Google I could buy for that keyword on page 1. If I paid the most money. Anthony was doing this and he was making 200 grand a month by doing this, by having zero competition in the ad space, and it was all him because he was paying the most. Or overnight, Google said, you know what, this isn't fair. We're going to let you bid for an ad, but we're going to decide where the ad goes. You might be number 3, you might be number 1. It depends, but you can't have all 10. And he went from 200 grand a night, a month, sorry, to $2,000 a month overnight. And that's because that Google changed. And that showed him that he didn't own his business, Google owned his business, right? For a time being, I had my business set up that would rely purely on Facebook and Instagram. If they shut down, if I got banned, if anything happened, I would have been screwed, right? I wouldn't have owned my business. That's why it's so important to collect email leads where you can. Because as long as you have email leads, you have a way to contact your audience. No matter what other business shuts down, if the autoresponder shuts down, doesn't matter. You've got the email leads, put them somewhere else. If Facebook ads shuts down, don't worry. You've still got the audience there, right? It's the one place really where you can actually own your audience. Amy, if you message me right now, Amy, on my Facebook, I'll ensure they get sorted right now. I thought I added everyone in, but I must have missed you, which is horrible of me. I'll get it sorted. George, is there a tutorial for Inboxer that can show me how to create a thread in the Facebook comments feature? I create a single response. So yeah, essentially you create the single response in the comments feature, and then you'll essentially have them. You want them to inbox you. So I'll do a video on that for you, my friend. Joanne says that's why I don't like Facebook. Everything was there, and someone duplicated my page posts, logos, and whatnot, and they reported me. Yeah, they can be pretty mean what they do on Facebook. Coral, I 100% added you in yesterday. I remember your name specifically, but message me on Facebook now, and I'll double check that I've got the right email of yours. But your name is hard to forget, so I do remember your name specifically. So send me a message. And Jason as well, please send me a message now as well on Facebook. So I added everyone in yesterday for that one, Jason. So send me a message and I'll make sure you are there. But until next week, guys, I appreciate you all. Today was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it all. I'll send the replay out. We've just gone for an hour. Perfect time to finish it. A lot of stuff for you guys to sink your teeth into. Next week, try to have at least one ad done, even if you spend $5 on it. Just give it a go, get it set up, or at least play around in the ads manager, please. And let's start taking some action and making some money. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. I appreciate you all. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Those in Germany, I think it's Oktoberfest this weekend. So looking forward to that for you guys. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.